Ooh, I almost forgot something.
Oh! Chucky's back, but this time I'm a girl. You can already see I killed someone here, but bye-bye now. Time to kill some more.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday. And you know what that means? It's time for weekly purchases, the time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via UPS, DHL, FedEx, Amazon, the United States Postal Service, that old outlaw, Waylon Jennings, and a whole lot more. It is weekly purchases. And at the top of the show, we always discuss a little of the news that happened this week and talk about a busy news week, a busy news cycle, and we're going to investigate all that news that interests me and hopefully interests you as well on this special Halloween edition of weekly purchases, or I should say Halloween weekend. And I got a lot of Halloween plans. We'll get into those in a little bit. But first, we always recap the week that was on the channel. So let's talk about what videos were up on the channel this week. Hopefully you checked them out. If you didn't, hey, there's still time. Go back and look at them. But we continued our Jax Class Superstars deep dive this week with a couple of box sets of the WWE Shop Zone exclusives, event exclusives back in the day. The Hardy Boys, Jeff Hardy, Bret Hart, very cool sets. Next week, more Shop Zone exclusives, so be ready for that video next Tuesday. We've been running that video series for over a year now. And speaking of a daily video series, Star Wars daily videos, they rolled on this week, unboxing the 2002 Star Wars collection. We're going to be in that headspace next week as well, with a few surprises in there. We also, this week, unboxed Mandarin Spawn. $5.99, got to get a deal all day long. I picked up that Mandarin Spawn, so if you've been interested, check out that video. And then, of course, Legend Series 12. We unboxed each Legend from Legend Series 12. You got Kevin Nash, you got Billy Gunn, you got the JYD, Junkyard Dog out there, and, of course, Roddy Piper. Interesting set. Check out those videos if you missed them. And then it was an Ultimate Week this week. Hopefully next week will be an Ultimate Warrior Week, but we'll see. More about that later. But we unboxed Ultimates, WWE Ultimates this week. Undertaker, Kane, Hulk Hogan, Jeff Hardy. Some heavy hitters this week on the channel. Check out those videos if you missed them. These Ultimate Editions are awesome. I love them. There's a few gripes on every single one. We'll dig into that in those videos, of course. We'll talk about a couple of things in this video. Then we also did, of course, my figure hunting videos. Every single Friday we do a figure hunting for the week. A mixed bag this week, a little slow. We knew going into it things were going to be a little bit slow, but I will tell you, next week we're looking at possibly 2 figure hunting videos. Next week I return to South Dakota and Minneapolis, and all of Minnesota really, on work travel, so I'll be traveling around. We'll see what I find in some new areas. It's been a while since I've been to South Dakota. My favorite place to go, I guess. I don't know. We'll talk about that in that video. But I am headed to South Dakota, so be prepared for that in the figure hunting video next Friday. But then I might release a special video on Monday, let's call it. We'll see what happens. But I got a few in-town figure hunts I can put in that thing. I'm going to a big toy show on Saturday. I figured I'd take some footage from that toy show. Of course, we got trick-or-treating mixed in there. And then Saturday night, big wrestling show like 2 miles from my house. How cool is that? It'll be live on Fight TV on pay-per-view, so if you want to check it out, it's the Pro Wrestling Revolver. John Moxley will be in the main event against Jimmy Jacobs. You got a lot of Impact talent there. Warhorse is going to be there. Of course, Danhausen will be in the house, so I'm going to meet Danhausen for the first time. You know Chucky's going to be there. My daughter, she is going as Chucky, so we'll do some trick-or-treating. We'll have some of that. We'll have some toy show. I'll take some footage of the Pro Wrestling Revolver. Just be a little bit of a video, a little vlog, I guess, almost. But maybe we'll launch that on the video, or on the channel on Monday-ish. We'll see. And then, of course, following Friday, the weekly figure hunting video of my travels to South Dakota and Minnesota. So a lot going on the channel. And speaking of the channel, I forgot to mention a couple weeks ago, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, of course. Support the channel. Got a brand new t-shirt up there. It says today on the channel. So it's got a little silhouette of me. It's got the old number 33 Larry Bird on there, or Jose Canseco, whoever we want to be. But a very cool t-shirt up there. So support the channel, pick up a t-shirt. Wanted to make sure I mentioned that in weekly purchases at least. Now we get into the news of the week, the wrestling news. We'll start with that. And if you want a bunch of detailed wrestling news for almost an hour, Ringside Fest was this week. I did a special one-off video on that. It dropped yesterday, so if you missed that, maybe watch that first or watch it after this. But I cover all of the big WWE Mattel news of the week this week that was released during Ringside Fest. A lot of cool stuff, but I won't go into it in this video. Watch that video if you want all my deep thoughts on all the new reveals and all the new series that are coming via Mattel. But one big news this week that I missed last week was Mattel did re-sign with the WWE. So multi-year contract, my guess 3 or 5 years, that's usually how those things go. And I'm glad they re-signed, because where else was WWE going to go? Maybe Hasbro, but Hasbro, I think, has enough things to fill their plate right now. I think Mattel is the best fit. And personally, for probably you and me out there, it really is, because nobody wants to start a collection over. If they would have lost the line, I would have contemplated, say, do I need to collect the new wrestling figures? I'm sure I would dabble in the Ultimate Warriors and stuff like that, but I don't have it in me to start all over with a new collection like I do the Elites. So thankfully for me, and most likely you, Mattel will power on for another couple of years. Mattel, WWE, they really do seem like a good partnership at this point in time. Hopefully it maintains that way, and hopefully we get great Elites to come in the future. So kudos to the Mattel team for getting that figured out. And then once again, kudos to the Mattel team again, as there was a message from Steve, Action Figure Attack, of course, from the Mattel team. He posted on social media, the Wrestling Figs board, everywhere out there. You've probably all seen it by now. But we talked about in our Ankeny Ultimate Edition unboxing how we had some gripes about the lack of paint. And there was also a couple of paint problems on the face, which I thought was just mine, but apparently it's everybody. But Mattel said they are going to get a way for everybody to get a replacement arm and a replacement heads. That is super cool. It reminds me of Super 7, and we get that with Super 7 a lot. They make good on some mistakes, and here's Mattel doing the same thing. So kudos to Mattel out there. They honestly didn't have to do that. They should have done that, and they will be doing that. But I think we've seen in the past other toy companies, not just Mattel, have gotten away with not fixing things. They're going to fix it. They want these to truly be Ultimates out there. So kudos once again for Mattel doing that for us. And then Mattel also this week, we got an announcement on the Bump WWE show. Probably nobody watches, I'm sure. But WWE Superstars Series 2 was announced. These are taken over for the Masters of the Universe style figures. They're just more wrestling figures in that body style, basically. We know the Honky Tonk Man. We know Hulk Hogan is coming out. Verdict's still out on Bray Wyatt and Ric Flair. Will we see those? My gut says no, but we'll see what happens. We got those two that have been on pre-order, but now we got 3 more people in Series 2. We've got the clique, basically. You got HBK, you've got Scott Hall, and you've got Kevin Nash. So really cool for collectors of that body style, people that like that, myself included, of course. So we did get those kind of out of left field. Didn't expect those announcements this week or any week, really. But Series 2 coming at you sometime in the spring, I believe is what they said. But then we turn our attention to AEW wrestling figures this week. Some news with them. There was leaked images of AEW Unmatched Series 2, which should be coming November, December, I think is what they said. But one thing that caught my eye, we get leaked images all the time. It's so weird, the Jazzwares team, how leaks come out way before. I mean, they got to really figure out how to fix those leaks out there. But we did see, and my eye immediately went to it, we're getting some fists finally. Ty Conti and I think Santana had a fist. There's a couple of fists in here. So maybe my prayers have been answered. We're still going to finally start getting fists from the Jazzwares team. I don't know. I hope that's correct. I hope that's the way it goes. I'm all in for fists, and I'm all in for the AEW figures. Now, if they can just fix those elbow joints and some of those knee joints out there, that would go a long way. I mean, Mattel, they are rising. You know, a lot of people thought AEW was going to come in, overtake Mattel. Well, AEW came in hot, and now they've kind of leveled off, and Mattel seems to be on the rise with the pinless joints, double jointedness. There's a lot of good stuff coming from Mattel, a lot of heavy hitter figures coming from Mattel. So AEW, they got to step it up. We always say it on the channel, constant learning, constant improvement. That's what we got to see from every toy company out there. So hopefully that happens. But then Rio, my girl Rio, you know Rio. I don't know how many times a day I talk about Rio. I don't know how many times a day I see Rio on the store pegs. You guys see my videos. It's a lot. But Rio announced or showed pictures of her signing a bunch of different AEW figures. I have to imagine these are going to be sold to the live shows for AEW. I don't know, $100, woof, but I almost feel like I need one in my collection. I don't know why. I'm not a huge Rio fan. People think I just absolutely love Rio. No, it's just I see her every single day at the stores. But for some sick reason, I feel like I need this autographed Rio figure. So stay tuned on that. Will I end up with one of those? I just don't know. I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. I don't know. Interesting. Rio. I love her, though. Never change, never leave. You guys know how that goes. Buy the t-shirt. But then we go turn our attention to some more retro-style toys this week. Mike Awesome in the Heels and Faces line. We knew that was coming. We got some Ron Rudat drawings for Mike Awesome. I keep saying it, though. We've got so many figures promised. I just don't know how they're going to get these. I feel like they have enough things announced to take us to 2025. I don't know. I'm all for these Heels and Faces figures. I pre-ordered Series 1. I pre-ordered the Jeff Jarrett. I'm all in, but man, I almost wish they would just get to getting figures out and stop announcing people, because by the time their day comes, we're going to forget all about it. This is kind of the way it looks. And like Mike Awesome, when's he going to come? Like 2024? I don't know how that's going to work out. But then we also saw from Chella. It seems like every week there's some news from Chella. There's some news from Heels and Faces from Zombie Sailor. But we got Chella Toys, Big Daddy figure coming up for pre-order, much like Giant Haystacks. They're going to do like a special chase version that's going to have a little window. I totally missed out on that Giant Haystacks. I don't know how it flew over my head or what, or I missed it, but I would have pre-ordered that, but I did miss out on that. I will try to get this Big Daddy one if I do remember. But then we'll talk about Squared Circle Toys. We know they have the Kickstarter. We're going to remind you every single week, take a look at that Kickstarter if you're looking for event staff and stuff like that, and referees, event security. A really cool feature, but man, it's going to be tough to hit those goals, especially those stretch goals. We've seen things come from behind at the end. I think we'll see some of that, but I don't know if we'll have enough to get us to the 100,000 or so mark. As we always say, there's a long way to go in a short time to get there. We'll see how that ends up shaking out for us. But very interesting wrestling news, a very heavy week of wrestling news. Like I said, go back, watch that video of the Mattel Ringside Fest. I put all my sums in that video. Take you through the 2 days of ringside reveals. So a lot going on out there, a lot to be excited for in 2022 in the wrestling figure department. But one outside of the wrestling figure department, Marvel Select, Diamond Select Toys. You guys know I love my big figures. Marvel Select, we unboxed some on the channel. Halloween weekend is upon us right now. We did Captain America Zombie yesterday. We've been doing zombies throughout the month. We did Captain America on Friday. Sunday, Halloween, we're going to do the Incredible Hulk Zombie Marvel Select, and then we're going to rank the whole set, so be prepared for that on Sunday. But I do like some of the Marvel Select. Some of them are amazing figures. Some are absolutely hot garbage. The zombies each one is somewhere in there a little bit. But Diamond Select, Marvel Select did announce this week they are making an Apocalypse figure, and I am excited about that one. I love my X-Men. I love my Apocalypse. Age of Apocalypse is one of my favorite stories of all time, of course. Executioner Song, a lot of good Apocalypse stories out there back in the day. I'm all in for this Marvel Select Apocalypse. I hope it's a big, giant figure. It will scale well. The nice thing about Apocalypse is he can be any size because he grows, so it'll be able to mix in with your Marvel Legends. A lot of people missed that Build-A-Figure back in the day. They will be all in on this one, including myself. I have the Build-A-Figure, but I still want this one for sure. And then some other big news this week, Friday, right as I'm getting ready to film this video. Super 7 comes with some of the hottest news of all time. Yes, of all time. My boy Flint is going to be in Super 7 GI Joe Series 2. They showed a little picture of him reading the newspaper. Man, I'm excited. So it sounds like next week, first week of November, G.I. Joe Series 2 going to go up for pre-order. Like I say all the time, I recommend Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below. You don't have to pay for them until they ship. And you're looking at about this time next year when Series 2 will be shipping. Maybe a little sooner than that. I heard they got G.I. Joe moving a little bit faster. But that's what I say. Recommend Big Bad Toy Store. But you know me, I want all the Flints. I want to say no Flint left behind, but if you see my figure hunting videos lately, Flint seems to be everywhere at this point. But man, I love me some Flint. I'm so excited to get a Super 7 Ultimate Edition Flint. One of my childhood heroes, and one of my all-time favorite Joes. Actually, my all-time favorite Joe. And the true leader of G.I. Joe. You'll never change my mind. You'll never change my mind. He's the leader. So that is pretty cool. But then, speaking of Hasbro, who does G.I. Joe, and this Super 7 we were just talking about, jumping over to the Hasbro side. So Hasbro Pulse was last weekend. Last week we did weekly purchases on Sunday because of the Hasbro PulseCon. So if you missed weekly purchases for whatever reason, I recapped that PulseCon on Sunday. There's a lot of news these last few weeks. But then Hasbro Pulse did a 1027 fan event. Very strange to come that fast on the heels with new products and stuff. Less than a week. I don't understand that exactly. I don't know the reasoning behind that. I feel they should have had PulseCon moved back or up, or this moved up or back, depending where you had it. But put some time in between. You know, not everybody is made of money. Not everybody can get all these things at once. There was some pre-orders that went up, but it was mostly announcements, interviews, kind of like Hasbro PulseCon Part 2 is what it felt like to me, or Part 3, I guess, technically. But we did get a few announcements, and they did talk some GI Joes, and we saw the Cobra Officer. That leaked earlier that day. I showed it on my social medias. Hopefully you're following me on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. But the Cobra Officer did leak out there. This Cobra Officer is way better than expected. I kind of dumbed down my expectations for this one, and it blew them away. A beautiful looking figure. I have 4 on pre-order. 1 I'm going to have on card, and then I'm going to have 3 in my collection. That seems to be the sweet spot for me in army building some of these GI Joe guys. I'm looking at probably 3. But you guys know me, GI Joe is my most passionate love from as a child. I love it to this day. I'm excited for the future. And another thing that was announced for the future, and one of the worst kept secrets in all of G.I. Joe Classified, heck, it's been on the back of the package about the whole time, we're getting the Alley Viper. It did not show going up for pre-order yet, but that is another one that's going to be very popular. I've never quite understood all the love for the Alley Viper. He was barely in the cartoon, and it was part of that Deke episodes of cartoons that weren't the most famous G.I. Joe episodes, but I think it's just the blue and orange color scheme that's won a lot of people over the years, and it's very memorable packaging figure. So a lot of people are going to be getting this one, myself included. Once again, I'll probably be picking up 3 or 4 of those bad boys. But the Alley Viper is coming. We also saw in-package images of the Cobra Bat. I said it in that Hasbro reveal video. I love what they did with this Hasbro Bat. I was worried they would go to that second generation of Bat, or they would try to reimagine the whole thing. They played it very safe, went to what most collectors think of as a traditional Bat, gave us damaged parts. Kudos Hasbro team, kudos on this one. Another strong figure. And a lot of people are going to be army building this one as well, as you guys know. So the G.I. Joe team is very smart. They're getting a lot of these guys out there that are going to be army builds. So, you know, they release 3 figures, but it's really like they're releasing 10 figures or whatever the math works out to be. So I'm glad they're giving us only 3 at a time because of these army builder instances. It gives you a little bit more time to get some of these things. But loving everything I'm getting from G.I. Joe right now. I'm just very excited about the future of G.I. Joe. But then they also went back to the X-Men, the Marvel team, I should say. But they did talk about the X-Men animated series, and they did reveal another figure. They revealed Mr. Sinister from the animated series. I get this. I like this enough, but this didn't make me go crazy. I mean, it truly looks like the old Mr. Sinister we just had with the comic shading, a little bit lighter, not as dark of a blue. I'll get it, but under protest, how's that sound? It just feels like a cheap repaint, and it basically is what it is. I don't know if they're going to give us anything too new, but it's a way to get Mr. Sinister for those that missed it a couple of years ago. Get them another one, and I will probably have these all together on a collection of animated figures all together. That's kind of where this is leaning. I really hope they don't get any ideas and do the Spider-Man animated series the same way with cell shading, because we're seeing it from Venom for that Hasbro Con. Are we going to see more of that? Give us the traditional ones. Give us the traditional looking figures. I don't need that comic cell shading. I really did like the looks of the Wolverine one. Jubilee was all right, not as good as Wolverine. Mr. Sinister, I'm probably the least excited for. And it sounds like we're getting Storm and Jean Grey as well. So more to come on these, but they did announce those out there. And then the Star Wars team got another chance to announce some Black Series figures. Bib Fortuna, we knew he was coming. That excites me. Return of the Jedi. I love these deep-cut alien figures. And Bib Fortuna, especially the original 3 3/4. I remember getting that as a kid. It was one of my favorite. I just remember opening it on the couch. I can still think back to the days of South Dakota when I was a little kid, and that's when I got that one. So I'm excited to see that one. We did see some more Bad Batch figures with Echo and Omega. We're getting both of those. We knew those were coming. Those will be cool to help finish out your Bad Batch teams out there, so that is really cool. And then they announced the client, or at least pictures came out of the client from The Mandalorian, but then he was not mentioned on this, so I assume that's coming maybe in a couple of weeks, the next Pulse event, something like that, but we will be getting the client eventually because the pictures are out there. He's out there. We know he is coming. So that is very cool. And then, as you know, we have Hasbro Pulse. We got the back going on right now. They're trying, they launched the new one, the Ghostbusters Plasma Series backpack, basically. is what this is. So we'll see how well that goes. A lot of people thinking that won't back. I think it will. I just feel like it will. But then there's the Rancor and the Sky Striker that are going right now from HasLab as well. So there's a lot of funding going on. Then you throw in that Squared Circle Toys, and there's probably more that I don't even know about. But the Rancor and Sky Striker, those are the ones that are interesting me. I'm passing on the Sky Striker as of right now. I'm all in on that Rancor. I got that one day one. But it's interesting that the Sky Striker is ahead of the Rancor. I guess I would have never guessed that. I have no doubt in my mind either of these will fund. I'm very excited to know what the stretch goals are for the Rancor. Sky Striker is cool, but I just can't buy a 4th GI Joe line. I'm collecting the Classifieds, collecting the Super 7s, collecting the Walmart Retros. I'm not going to get the O-rings where this Sky Striker is based out of. I mean, there's only so many G.I. Joe lines I can collect. I can't collect 4 at the same time amongst all the other lines out there. But man, this Air Striker looks cool. I definitely urge a lot of you guys that are into this stuff to pick this up, because if this succeeds, we'll get other stuff down the line, and I hope we get some G.I. Joe classified ones in the future. But very interesting, the Rancor and Sky Striker, where they're netting out. I would assume the Rancor would have funded almost immediately, but here we are. I think people like to wait. You guys know, patience and people like that wait till payday, even though it doesn't take your money until it's funded. There's people that like to wait to the end, and I get that too, so there you go. So interesting times with that one of Hasbro. A lot going on with Hasbro, a lot going on with Mattel. And then there's even more news this week. NECA, our friends at NECA, they never give up. They're doing the 31 Nights of Halloween reveals of different figures out there. And this week we knew about Raphael Frankenstein. Well, we got Leonardo, of course, as the Hunchback. And this one doesn't sit great with me. I just don't view Leo as the Hunchback. Does that make sense? Am I just weird? For some reason, I feel like Donatello should have been the Hunchback, and I'm not sure exactly why, but this is probably the one I'll be the least excited of the released ones that have kind of leaked out there, but we'll see. A cool enough looking figure. I will be picking this up. Not as good as the Frankenstein, at least on first images, but we'll see where this one ends up going. But we did get that, and I assume before it's all said and done, we might get the rest of them. There's still a few days left, at least in October. Let's try to think what month we're in right now. We also saw the Mummy black and white version. We saw packaging. We saw some more still images. I guess they're all still image, glamour shot images. And it's the 90th anniversary of the Mummy as well, for those guys keeping track at home. Not one of my favorite Universal monsters of all time. I always put the Mummy and kind of the Phantom of the Opera in kind of the same boat, and the Hunchback and some of that stuff. But very cool looking. I do like the Mummy, so I will be picking this one up as well. I guarantee my dad will be grabbing this as well. So very cool to get that one. And then we saw some Gremlins reveals, and we saw the Brain. Gremlins 2. It sounds like 2022 is going to be the year of Gremlins 2. We're going to get a lot of Gremlins stuff. We already got Greta earlier this year, and we're getting that 5-pack of Mogwais out there. We're getting the Demolition ones. Now we're getting the Brain, a major character from Gremlins 2. Hey, I'm here for it. I'm picking that up as well. There's no way I'm going to pass on that one. And then we turn our attention to He-Man. So He-Man firing on all cylinders. I was supposed to get some of those PowerCon items yesterday and today. Both have been delayed. That's FedEx for you. Where's my Sentinels? How about that? Where's the Sentinel? Will they ever come to my house? I'm thinking they won't, but that's a different story for another day. But PowerCon figures were supposed to come. I didn't get those, but hopefully for next week, weekly purchases, I'll have those. We did see from the Origins line, though, this week, we saw Flying Fist He-Man and Terror Claws Skeletor. Some glamour images of those. Those are in the deluxe packaging. We'll be seeing those here shortly, probably first of the year, I would imagine. I'm not sure about the retail pegs. He-Man is really interesting. They get released online. We see stuff, but boy, they seem to really move at a snail's pace getting on the store shelves. I'm still waiting to see Mosquito out. Mosquito? Yeah, Mosquito. Or Mosquitor. I'm waiting to see him out there. And I've said it before, and I've said it in a couple of different videos. Masterverse really worries me a little bit. Those are peg-warming hard in all my stores. They are full. And where are we going to get Series 2 on the pegs? I just don't know if it's going to happen. And then reports on Friday, some shots from Delaware. A Delaware Walmart, they had Series 3 on the pegs, which I think that makes sense because Target seems to be the heaviest on the Masterverse, and Walmart, not all the stores had them, so I think they jumped distribution, got Series 3 coming. So it sounds like if you're looking for Masterverse figures, Series 3 could be showing up at your Walmarts here in the next couple of weeks, so be prepared for that. My guess is probably a November 1st street date on those, but I don't know for sure. But I'm excited for any more He-Man figures, and we'll talk a little He-Man figures in weekly purchases as well. So those should be coming. But like I said, a lot of news this week. It is Halloween Eve if you're watching this on the day of. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Like I said, I got a couple extra videos coming. There's a lot of videos on the channel. Next week, a lot of videos. There's just a lot going on everywhere, especially here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss any of that. Album of the week this week. I don't know really where to go. I didn't really listen to an album this week. I will tonight. I was listening to Misfits Collection 1 and 2. They got that great classic song, Halloween. So I love the Misfits this time of year. It just always fits the mood, and my daughters love Misfits as well, so that'll work out good. We'll listen to that. But on Friday, Ozzy did release a music video for Hellraiser, a classic song off the No More Tears album, of course, on the March or Die Motorhead album, as Lemmy did write a lot of songs with Ozzy around that time. Through the magic of technology, they put their voices together as a duet, and they released a music video of Ozzy and Lemmy together. It's okay, but the video was cool enough. Anytime I get something new Motorhead in my life, sign me up. You guys know I'm here for some Motorhead. I'm here for Halloween. I'm here for it all. And I'm definitely here for the weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the weekly purchases. And we've been talking the last few weeks. You guys remember the first couple of weeks of October especially were record-breaking finds, record-breaking pickups, wallet-busting pickup weeks out there. And I knew with some of the supply chain issues we got going on that things were going to slow down to a dramatic halt. And that's what we're kind of starting to see out there, which is okay because we spent all... Basically, I feel like I got all the product for October, November, December. I got it all in the first couple of weeks of October. And there's just a few things out there, some stragglers that will come. I gotta think weekly purchases will be a little slower for the rest of the year, and hey, I'm okay with that. There's Christmas coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, so I'll be okay with that. But I'm looking for a Fantastic Four-Wave out there. Hopefully those hit very soon. Hopefully I find those in my travels next week. Looking for the Zodiac Mattel Collector's Edition Target exclusive out there, and a few things. A couple of He-Man guys here and there, but nothing major out there, which I keep saying it. That's okay for me. I don't need huge wallet-busting purchases every week. There's gotta be a limit somewhere, right? Somewhere? Nah, no limits. But let's kick into the weekly purchases, and let's start it with He-Man Master Universe Revelations. There it is. I ordered this off of Amazon, and it beat the stores. And like I said earlier, I think a lot of the stores are so backed up with Series 1. Series 2 is probably going to be coming from the Amazons of the world and stuff like that. And as of this moment, Man-at-Arms is the only one I'm missing from Series 2. But I got Tila via Amazon this week, Beastman last week, Spycore the week before. Hopefully Man-at-Arms next week. We'll see if that happens. But got old Tila there, so I'm happy to have that. We'll unbox those on the channel someday. We got What If Wave. We got the Eternals Wave. We got Infinity Saga figures. We've got 3, 4, 5 He-Man figures to unbox. We got a little miscellaneous stuff. There's a lot going on. Last week was very wrestling heavy. I think this week will be either He-Man, Turtles, or Marvel heavy. And as usual, you guys kind of dictate where it goes. So if you want to see something, let me know. And then I did get this Joker Chase. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. But there's the Chase version of the Batman 66 Joker. I don't feel like I really need this one. It's just one of those ones that I'll buy it now until I figure out what I would decide I want to do. I can always take it back is what I kind of figured in my head. So I got that. How about gotta get a deal out there? And that's my motto when it comes to Transformers too. I still can't wrap my head around what kind of a Transformer collector I am. But gotta get a deal. $14.99 plus $1 off coupon. Gotta use those coupons at Walgreens. I got RC. So I picked her up. I did not feel like this figure was worth $20, but $14.99 with a $1 off coupon, Walgreens clearance event, I'll take that all day long. So I got RC from the Transformers line this week. Who am I missing from Transformers still? I feel like there's one. Scourge. That's the one I need, and that's not going to be finding that in the store pegs, I don't think. But we'll see what happens. How about a little Star Wars Black Series this week? An Amazon exclusive and a Walmart exclusive. Walmart exclusive came Friday. The Imperial Clone Shock Trooper. Once again, got to get the most out of your molds. So we got the Shock Trooper from the Bad Batch, of course. So we got him through the door. Like I said, Walmart exclusive on that one. And then the Amazon exclusive from the Mandalorian collection, the Artillery Stormtrooper. Basically the same thing with different weapons and different colors, but we'll unbox them. We'll probably unbox these two together on the channel. Look for that one early next week, something like that. But 2 more Black Series figures. Seems like it's been a while since we've had Black Series figures. Where's Wrecker? Man, I've never seen that figure. I know people found him long ago. Never hit anywhere in my travels. Never saw a Wrecker out there. Hopefully I find him soon. That's another one playing a little long game on, I guess. What else we got? We got some wrestling figures this week. Now, we unboxed this on the channel, so this is my in-package one. And, of course, I have a loose one as well, you know. Hulk Hogan Ultimate Edition. Had to pick that up. Amazing figure. I love that figure. If you haven't got this yet, well, it's going to be a while. It sounds like spring for the rest of the people that haven't got them yet, but I do think this will go back up for pre-order. There's too much money to be made, so they'll get more of those out there, but it just might be 2022 until you find it. But love that figure a whole lot. Can't wait for the next Ultimate Hulk Hogan. It's almost like I'm becoming a Hulk Hogan fan with all these figures, but it is what it is. Then we turn our attention to Chella toys, and I keep going back and forth. We talk about Chella toys every week, but I haven't pulled the trigger. But this week, I said, what the heck? I picked up Hayabusa. Now, I was a kid that traded tapes in Japan, so I saw a lot of Hayabusa videos as a kid. Then, of course, him in ECW stole my heart, never let go. So I had to get this one, and I said, you know what? Might as well save on some shipping and everything else. I ended up getting this Bull Nakano. I'm not sure if I'm going to open these or not yet. I got to, you know, have a come to Jesus with myself and figure out if I want to open these up or not. But man, this Bull Nakano figure is extremely small. Like, very small. Happy Meal toy small. I mean, you put her next to Hayabusa. I mean, I don't know. I think he was 6 foot tall. She's 5'7", which, I mean, at least, I don't know. It seems like she's just a hair smaller than she should have been. Uh-oh. There goes Hayabusa. Maybe I will be opening that one if it's dinged up. But gotta get these Cellas. We'll see where I go. I definitely want the BWO pack for sure. I know I'm all in on any ECW related guys out there. I have to have them. But we'll see. We'll see where this ends up going. But very cool to get those. Just a couple more things this week. How about this? A Happy Meal toy. We talk about Happy Meal toys all the time. Went to McDonald's with my daughters, and I said, can't we just wait till November 1st? As we all know, November 1st, the McRib comes back. Oh, all my figure hunting videos will end with me grabbing a McRib, probably for the month of November, maybe even December. I hate McDonald's with a passion, but McRib season, man, I'm here for it. Give me a McRib. No pickles, no onions. I just want the sauce and the bread and the McRib. That's all I need. It's just a purist. I'm a purist there. But we had to go there, and we got a Happy Meal, and we got an Eternals character, and I'm a little nervous about these Eternals. I hear the movie is absolutely god-awful from some of the early reviews out there. See you later. So that's a bad sign for those action figures, which look pretty good. We'll unbox them. I don't know if I need to see the movie before I unbox them, as I'm not very familiar with the Eternals, but I have the entire collection. I have the deluxe figure. It'd probably be a week of unboxings. I'm thinking I might even try to see the movie just so I can do a better review. And I want to see the movie eventually. I'd prefer to wait for it to be on Disney+, but I might take one for the team. I might go to a matinee or something like that. Maybe I can convince a kid to go with me. We'll see if that happens. But what is this guy? Karos or something? I can't remember this guy's name. But oh man, look at this. You push the back of his head. He is ready to fight. Good for him. So we did get this week, and yeah, I don't know. It looks like they all plug together, though, so that's kind of cool. So you can plug all the figures together, have your own Eternal base. But got that. Thought we'd unbox that on the channel. Real cool. It's just something different, but I don't know where those Eternals are going to go, besides the clearance bin, it's sounding like. So that's a little disappointing. That's a big step back for Marvel, but their kind of hands are tied. You got to make figures for these movies. I just don't know how well those figures are going to do. And by the early reports, not so hot, but once the movie comes out, maybe business will pick up. I doubt it. All right, this week I got something for Lemmy, too. I was in the clearance aisle. You saw my figure hunting video at the very end of the week. We're in the clearance aisle, my wife and I. Who did we find? Macho Man Randy Savage. Very cool. Well, not really cool at all. Bleacher Creature, no thanks. These were like originally $20. Who would ever pay $20 for this? But I would pay $3 on clearance at Walmart, and what my plan is for this, it's a Walmart exclusive, it says so on the back. Lemmy is going to tear this to shreds. I'm going to use this for my boy Lemmy, so he's going to have his own little Macho Man to play with. Good for Lemmy. 'Tis the season for him to play with the Macho Man, I guess. So that's a little gift for $3. Yeah, we'll see. He'll probably rip it open in one day, and there it goes, $3. And then finally this week, The Devil and the Angel won out. You guys know I had no plans on buying this, but then I don't find anything forever. Don't find anything, and then I see it. Then there's 25% off on the Cartwheel or Circle app or whatever at Target. So I said, you know what? I'm doing it. Here we go. I'm picking this up. I don't know if I needed this, but I picked up Spider-Man Homecoming Deluxe figure Vulture. Vulture, I already have the Build-A-Figure. It's not that much different. I guess I'll unbox this on the channel. We'll compare it to that Build-A-Figure and see what all the fuss is about between the two. This looks like it would make an amazing General Hawk custom for GI Joe, though. You get a different head on it. You could probably turn this into General Hawk. Very good for you customizers out there. But I did end up picking that one up. We'll see, but I don't like that price point. At $41.99, just does not feel like it should be that for what it is. I was going to pass, but that 25% did push me over the edge. I ended up picking it up, and here we are. So I got the whole line. We unboxed this whole set on the channel a couple weeks ago, so check out those videos if you missed those. We'll probably do this one next week just to be done with those. Still got to do What If, still got to do the Eternals, still got to do some Infinity Sagas. Still got to do some He-Mans, like I said. And speaking of He-Man, I had one more purchase this week. Mythic Legions, playing a little of that long game, found a deal on a used minty one. Crona, I believe. I don't even know if that's how I said it right, but it's Mythic Legions' take on Trapjaw. Of course, a favorite from the Masters of the Universe universe. But it's their take on Trapjaw. We saw their Battle Cat version. They had a Panther version, Skeletor, He-Man. They've had different versions out there. I had to pick this up. I said, you know what? I've been playing that long game for a couple of weeks. Ended up getting this one, and I'm happy with my purchase, and we'll see. I'm sure we'll have more Mythic Legion talks in the months and years to come here on the channel. So there it is. Quite the week this week for weekly purchases. This Halloween weekend. Tonight, like I said, we'll see Danhausen. We'll see John Moxley right down the street from my house. It'll be an interesting show. Taking the kids to that. Taking the kids to trick-or-treating. Going to a toy show today. This is a busy, busy Saturday for me. I'm going to try to film a lot of it. And like I said, I'll try to get a video out, kind of a vlog of the weekend. You guys can see how it went down for your own eyes out there. But make sure you follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. You guys know the whole song and dance. Leave me a comment with what you're up to this Halloween weekend. What are your plans for the weekend? What did you pick up this weekend? Leave me the comments down below. And then you know what I'm doing. I'm strutting and strolling, rocking and rolling my way into the Halloween weekend. I'll see you guys all real soon. What? Chucky? Lemmy is Chucky? Oh no. Lemmy, can you sit? You sit? Sit. Good boy. Oh no. Lemmy, you're Chucky for Halloween? Sounds about right.